Today we're having a select committee hearing on the LNG pause from the Biden administration to find out why we actually need it, what it's for. And I think it's amazing because those facilities are right here in our community. I think it's great that we're going to be able to ask some questions to hopefully get some answers and then to have, you know, something to move forward on how we should or should not be doing things. I think this is just vitally important because we live in an area where the majority of people here, we need the industry, but also we want to have an environment that is clean. And I just think it's wonderful that we're being recognized for being one of the energy resources of the country and the world. And I'm just happy that we're taking this serious to find out what are the actual effects, how can we move forward and make sure that we're building a better community, a better industry, and also making sure that our environment is clean as humanly possible.
Can you introduce yourself?
I'm State Representative Christian Manuel from Texas House District 22.
So right in there, Madison, channel 6 now.
And then with the email.
Bump me up the back door, I really appreciate it.
Text me or
Slide which one?
Between that and all the petrochemical refinery and now the LNG.
Yeah, the infrastructure. That's what you
There's a
think.
holocaust.
It's prevalent on the national level. We're here today in the Carl A. Parker building, named after the late Senator Parker, who created Lamar University in Port Arthur, the Port of Port Arthur, and authored more than 400 bills. I can think of nowhere better to address the issue of protecting Texas LNG exports than right here. That had a huge impact on the Texas coast, especially Port Arthur. Today, this testimony will address the restriction the Biden administration has placed on Texas and the
I want to
nation.
thank all the committee members, Chair Patterson, and everyone who made the trip here today. This is a very important topic. It's very impactful, not just to the state of Southeast Texas, obviously, but for the state of Texas, this country, and this world. Honestly, this is a very big topic. Dr. Adolph's comments about Senator Parker, who spent decades serving Southeast Texas. We probably wouldn't be here on this campus if it were not for Senator Parker. Geographical area, it's unbelievable what's happening here. We're able to see Chenier over in Louisiana, completed, operational, and expanding. And then to see Golden Pass LNG almost completed, and all the years and investments that they've made. And then Port Arthur LNG, Sempra, that is under construction right now. And this is the epicenter of LNG in the world right now, if you ask me, right here in Southeast Texas and Southwest Louisiana. The Trump administration studied this issue, and we moved forward. Now we're in a third administration wanting to study the same exact issue and do another policy. We don't. The state of Texas and our neighboring states, with their supply of natural gas, can supplant Russia's dominance in Europe, right through Southeast Texas. A career, not a job, a career. Unbelievable salaries and benefits for Southeast Texas. So I know this is trust me, I'm in the middle of a campaign myself. I know what it's like. Politics are politics. But politics can interfere with national security. Politics can interfere with individuals' careers. Politics can interfere with economic development for one of the most important areas of not just this state, but this nation. So I appreciate y'all being here. The testimony is going to be phenomenal. Speaking of National Day of Prayer, I'm heading to Buna in a little while to do a National Day of Prayer there. And then I'm heading down to Port of Beaumont for a wonderful announcement on port expansion there. It's that wonderful things are happening. So it's a great day in Southeast Texas, and I appreciate y'all sharing it with us. I appreciate my colleagues coming from around the state of Texas to share this information that we're all about to hear. Mr. Landgraf wins the award for the longest travel, especially Chairman Landgraf. Thank you all for being here. God bless you, and God bless this great state.
My name is Hilton Kelly, and I am the founder and director of the Community Empower and Development Association located in the city of Port Arthur. I'm here today to testify at the LNG facility, against the LNG facilities that are going to be built. We have quite a few that have been built. There's a third one that is being proposed. And the President of the United States has kind of stalled the project. And I stand with the President of the United States on his decision because in this particular area, there's a disproportionate amount of pollution and chemicals that are being dumped into the air that is harming our community. And when we talk about hiring and hiring local, most of the time those jobs do not go to the citizens here in the city of Port Arthur, but many citizens outside the city of Port Arthur that pour into the area and take advantage of those jobs. So I see this as a bad deal for the city of Port Arthur and increased emissions, which harm the environment and our children.
23, Texas LNG exports averaged 7.7 BCF per day, according to U.S. International Trade Commission data. The value of Texas 2023 LNG exports totaled about $18.6 billion, and a vast majority of those from this local regional area. Corpus Christi has an expansion equivalent to a fourth terminal under construction. Surpassed Australia and Qatar to become the world's largest exporter in 2023 with LNG market share of more than 20%. It does have an adverse impact on investments and on the market position of Texas and Louisiana, especially in terms of freezing investment in shared services and infrastructure.
They really laid out three rationales for this clause. One was concern for the potential for higher domestic prices, higher emissions, and a third was an adverse impact on economically disadvantaged communities.
Numbers are higher now and continuing to grow, but let's just take that 7.7 last year. That translates when you account for getting the same amount of electricity from coal around the world. That translates to 174 million tons of coal that's needed.
So that's a huge positive environmental impact and demonstrably false in the White House's allegations. In terms of economic contributions, Todd mentioned the upwards of $200 billion impact. I want to underscore that that's a direct investment impact. 50 to 70 of that is directly in the terminals. You have gas processing and pipeline infrastructure on top of that. And fully half of the impact of that is the upstream through Texas. What hangs in the balance is a 20% expansion of that 27.4 billion cubic feet a day of dry gas production that Todd mentioned.
I'm gonna close out. Let me put my timer on so I'll shut up on time. I think it's very important that we understand the value of the decision you're about to make here, what it means to not just Texas but the world. You know, the scripture says, I can say that because I'm the only Christian in the legislature in our government. But the scripture says that God says if you're a good steward, He'll make you the master over me. I want you to understand where we stand, what an opportunity and what a absolute obligation we have to do the right thing on these issues. Ports on the Gulf of Mexico produce more than all the other ports of the continental United States combined. Understand the Port of Houston is the #1 manufacturer in the United States. The United Nations, the World Economic Forum, it's amazing the battle that we find ourselves in defending the free world here in Texas. If Texas were a nation, would be, I think Todd may maybe #9 in the world in total production. Is it updated, Todd? From between 40 and 50%, pretty regular on oil, about 30% or so back and forth on natural gas. In other words, we in the state of Texas are more powerful than the nation. We are the last hope for the free world. And the decision we have right now goes against a war that is being fought against the United States. World Economic Forum, I think, is represented real well, calls it the Great Reset that Prince Charles announced in 2020. A year later, in 2021, after COVID had reached its initial phase, the head of Greenpeace appeared before the World Economic Forum and said, the new issue we need to attack right now, because COVID had advanced their Great Reset to remove the United States as the top world power.